Welcome everyone, this is Michelle Schumann. I'm the Artistic Director of the Austin Chamber Music Center, and I am here with Andrea Lamb of the Claremont Piano Trio and also Emily Bruskin. It's great to have them. Welcome, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much for inviting us here.
Yeah, and the Claremont Piano Trio, they're performing as part of the Austin Chamber Music Festival on July 7th. Yes, July 7th. Sorry, everything is starting to run together and it'll become more individualized as you get closer, but we're really excited to have you guys because you guys were back here a number of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was, when you were here, and it was such a great program and great show. I'm really excited to have you guys back, and I know that you have now a new pianist, which is exciting, so I thought we could talk about that some too, but I wanted to say that one of the things that I really loved about the Claremont Piano Trio when you guys came a number of years ago was just the ensemble playing was just so wonderful. I felt like you guys were so wonderfully in tune with each other, and we are missing one player in this interview. We're missing the cellist, Julia, but actually if we just took a picture copy of Emily and put her in the middle, then it would work out pretty well because they are identical twins. And I really got this feeling... Sorry?
Oh, Julie's really sorry she couldn't make it. She's actually in Tokyo right now playing some concerts. So
yeah, tough gig, huh? But one of the things that I was really taken by and that I was really interested in is the fact that you guys are identical twins, and you've probably been playing chamber music together since you were like really, really small children. And I really got that sense when you play together that you almost play together as one person. And I just wanted to get your take on playing chamber music with your sister and how that kind of informs the group.
Well, Julie and I are incredibly lucky to have been playing together literally since we started playing at age 4. We actually come from a really musical family. Our parents play violin and viola, so as soon as they found out they were going to have twins, they said, oh, well, if they play violin and cello, we can have a string quartet.
I filled out the quartet. That's great.
So we've been playing together forever, and I think that definitely... It informs everything that we do together. We just know each other incredibly well, and I think we also have very similar sort of basic instincts musically, and that's, I think, the basis for any really great group is that you react to certain things in a compatible way. And people ask us sometimes if we have ESP, and it's like, oh, I don't think we have ESP. We have the kind of understanding that you develop over 20-something years of playing together and listening to each other and living with each other and knowing each other. And so that's definitely an amazing basis for the group. As we introduce Andrea, I want to just sort of tell everyone that we feel that when we met Andrea, it was like this like light bulb moment of, oh my gosh, where's she been all our lives? Like I just, that innate sort of musical, the instincts and the way that you sort of just immediately react to music being compatible. I feel like this group and we are compatible in a way that like is really truly special and something that we're very, very excited to share with all of you.
Oh, that's really great. It sounds really exciting. And how was that process in finding another pianist? Because I know that can be, it's probably a scary process to undertake because the Claremonts have, of course, been really successful, and finding another person to kind of fit into that mold, you're going to discover a new voice together, the three of you, and you want that to be kind of the dream voice in a way. So can you talk about that process, maybe from both sides?
Sure. I guess maybe I'll start and then I'll let you jump in with your perspective. I was really scared at the beginning. We were so sad when Donna decided she wanted to leave. Donna had a baby about 1.5 years ago, and she spent most of a year, a bunch of time trying to juggle it all and make it all work and making it all work, doing all the travel, reading and everything that involves. And at a certain point, I think she felt that she had a choice. I think she could have made it work, and she just decided that for her and for her family, it just wasn't the right thing anymore, and she just didn't want to go there. So that was really sad for us, obviously. I mean, it had been an amazing 12.5 years together, and I just felt like I had no idea what came next. Like I had no experience of changing things up at all. So we basically just played with a whole bunch of different people and asked everyone, a whole bunch of people we trusted for recommendations, and did a whole bunch of reading, which was in itself a fascinating project. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, being a group for so long, like you, I don't know, certain things just get decided and you have this identity, and then you bring in all these different people and it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many other like totally doing things, which is, it's fascinating, and it's actually really important, I think. And we always collaborate with guest artists and work with other people, go to concerts, get other influences, but I think it just, to be playing with someone and actually having them influence what you're doing, it really opened our eyes a lot, and sort of was a very exciting process to see how many different possibilities there were out there. And there were definitely people who were like, this is an amazing player, love that, but and it's not gonna work. And when we played with Andrea, we're like, just, she's a beautiful, amazing player, and it feels so natural and comfortable to play together. It doesn't feel like we have to accommodate each other or do something that doesn't feel natural. It just works right away, and that was obvious from the very, very beginning. And I mean, as things began to settle down, very quickly I began to not be worried about the future anymore. And I know that maybe the first few concerts I was worried, would people like the group, would they be as impressed with Andrea as we have been? And after a couple, stopped worrying about that. I was like, I know this group is amazing, and I believe in it going forward. So
that's great. And what about for you, Andrea, coming into a preformed group? You know, you can already, it's easy to be intimidated in a way, or to really want to be able to fit in, but also to have your own voice. You don't want to be the last pianist, you know, like, you don't want to be like that necessarily. Even if they're great, you always want to have your own voice and kind of blend into that. So what was that process like for you? And also, I imagine it's even more intimidating when you're going to start playing with an identical set of twins.
Intimidating, and a lot easier in a lot of ways, because they're so in sync with each other, and it's just really easy to tap into that. And I think I've always loved playing with other musicians. It's always been one of the greatest joys for me in music. And I just feel like we come from very similar musical aesthetics and personalities, and we have very similar fundamental approaches to music, which I think makes everything, all of the important stuff, just sort of click. And it's been a very short and very wild and very busy time since I've joined the group, but I've absolutely loved every minute of it. We've done a lot of different repertoire, from Mozart to commissioned pieces this year, so there's a lot of variety, but it's really great. And the thing, even in the short amount of time that we've been together, there's been a huge sort of development. I feel like things just sort of are fitting into a groove really quickly, and I'm so excited about how that develops over the next many, many years to come. Mm-hmm. It's a really exciting journey.
And what we felt strongly about when we were looking for a new person, we didn't just want to like slot someone in and keep everything the same. Like we wanted to use it as an opportunity to reinvigorate things, to take things in a new direction. I mean, some mentors of ours, I remember someone gave me really good advice. She said, don't just try to maintain what you have. Like think about what your strengths and weaknesses are and where you want to take the group, and find a person who can help you sort of be a I don't know, not the same thing, but something new and wonderful and different. And I definitely feel like that it's been a really amazing journey so far, and I'm very excited for many more years of it.
And it's amazing how sometimes when things are going well, we just want to hold on to that, right? We don't want any changes, even if there was a possibility that it could be better. If we're happy where we are, we sometimes just feel safe in that place. So even though it was probably a scary time, it's turned out to be a really exciting time for you guys to have that opportunity for that kind of growth, and it sounds like it's like a surge of growth in a really short period of time. How does that affect repertoire choices? Because Claremont Piano Trio had pretty vast repertoire before. As you move forward, how do you choose new repertoire and go back to old repertoire, or is that just it's probably still a collaborative decision made altogether, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we definitely discuss everything. Andrew's been absolutely amazing about learning a ton of repertoire really, really fast. And we had some very ambitious projects laid out for this spring that we really didn't want to back off of, and she's just totally risen to the occasion. We've already, I mean, she's been with us officially less than 6 months, but we've already recorded a CD, Concerto and Beethoven Opus 1 No. 1. We're doing in the middle of this amazing series of concerts at Boston's Gardner Museum. They just built a brand new concert hall, and we had this neat idea for a series. It's 3 concerts over the course of this year. Each one has its own Mozart trio, a Mendelssohn trio, including Fanny Mendelssohn's trio. That's how we get 3 of them. And a new commission, a new work written for our trio. And so there was no way to sort of substitute things in and make it all the same for Andrea. She's learned a couple Mozart trios for us, a couple Mendelssohn trios, 2 brand new commissions that we all got to learn together. So we've definitely, I think after 12 and a half years, we knew most of the standard repertoire, and we had all sorts of things that we could pull out on a moment's notice. But with a few weeks' notice, Andrea seems to be pulling it up. So.
Yeah, and there's a certain amount of excitement that comes along with that. I know that when we've played repertoire for a long time, we have this certain sort of kinship with it, and this period, this knowledge of the music that comes over a period of time. But there's something really exciting about learning a new piece of repertoire too, and like having the first time of performing that. So you guys kind of have the best of both worlds. You have the history of knowing it for a while, and then that kind of freshness that is coming from Andrea too. So that's super exciting. And the program that you were talking about, we're going to get pretty much a taste of that very program here in Austin, because you're doing the Mozart C major, Kursel 548, and then you're doing Sean Shepard's trio, and Mendelssohn D minor, which is, you don't really get much better than Mendelssohn D minor. But can you talk a little bit about Sean Shepard's piece? Because I'm sure it's a composer that many people don't know about, and can you just tell us about how you know of him as a composer and what this piece is like?
Well, Sean is an amazing composer. He's just around our age. He actually went to Juilliard with us, so that's how we first got to know him. And actually, Julie's husband's a pianist, and he had played Sean's music before and had highly recommended him to us. And I don't know, we'd heard his music in school and stuff. So, but he's also at this point doing amazing things. He's composer in residence with the Cleveland Orchestra. He's written for the New York Philharmonic. He's all over the world doing awesome things. So.
And he's like 32 years old or something, right?
We were really excited to work with him, and we're just thrilled with the piece we got. I think when you work with a composer, you find a composer who's like previously written music you really like, and you ask him to do it, and you really hope that the piece they write for you is going to be as awesome as the stuff that you liked from before, and you never really know. But Sean wrote us just a really fantastic piece. It's in 3 movements, sort of miniatures. They're each one's pretty short. First one is called Florid Hopscotch, and that is a fairly good description of it. It's all these fun little lines that we trade around, sort of conversational style. Really neat in that way. And the second movement is actually named after that brand new concert hall at the Gardner Museum. It's called Calderwood, and that hall is very special. Actually, it's a square shape, and the performers sit in the middle, and there are 3 balconies going up. So it's a vertical space. Most concert halls are sort of horizontal. You look forward at the stage, but this one, all the audience members are above you. And so he took that very vertical idea and wrote these beautiful melodies that all sort of live in this inexplicable way, and it's a very beautiful movement.
That movement will work then well in the hall that you're playing in, because it's an amphitheater, so your audience is going to be sort of heading up from you too. So.
And the last movement is really fun and really funny. It's called Slow Waltz of the Robots. It's like Slow Waltz of the Robots. It's very clever and fun the way he works with those elements. Mm-hmm. Air conditioner in the background. Should I go turn that off?
No, it's okay. It's not too loud. It's all right. It's all right. And then you finished the program with the Mendelssohn Trio. Andrea, had you played the Mendelssohn Trio before, or was it your first time with the D minor? Was it your first time with Claremont?
I had played it before in school, so it was nice to have something that had a little bit of familiarity. But just working on it with the group, I just feel like there are so many dimensions in any piece that we work on that will just continue to develop. So I'm glad that I had played that before, because there are a couple of notes in there. It's such a great piece, as you said. It's got everything, and it's always such a joy to play. So.
Well, we can't wait to have you guys come back. Andrea, have you been to Austin before?
I have once. I loved it. I'm really excited about going back again. So it's a really beautiful city, and
we're so excited to come back to the festival. We have such fond memories. It's just really a wonderful, vibrant community and so many exciting events that you put together, and we're very, very happy to be a part of it again.
Yeah, we always have a great time, and it's always because of the great artists who come to town, and I really feel like our city comes alive with chamber music during that time. So it's because you guys come, and it's because our audiences show up and love it. So it's going to be another super great time. So do say hi to Julia for all of us, and we can't wait to see the three of you in a few short weeks.
Looking forward.
All right, take care, you guys. We'll talk to you later.